everyone, welcome to another video here on Cyber Advent. I'm your host Cyrell, and today we are going to be doing a few, questions and answers. So a few people have been hitting me up on my comments, and I just wanted to take out some time to talk about a lot of this stuff. So first things first, is go ahead and let's start with Christian. So Christian says, what do you think of being a jack of all trades? So when it comes to being a jack of all trades, I recommend it when you're early level in your career, but I believe that the money is in specialization. And then once you get to a certain point, then you diversify, right? So it's basically you start, you figure out what you want to go to, and then you choose one of those stems. You build up that stem until you get to a point where you're making a good amount of money, that you have enough that you can put money elsewhere. And then you start to diversify like that. So that's what I would recommend. I think jack of all trades, it's good at the beginning, but you want to specialize mainly because it will get you where you want to be fastest, and then you can diversify again. Here goes another one. So this is a comment from Bull Cub, and he says, bro, who said you needed a wasted college degree? Basically, it looks like he said, who said I wasted a college degree? You new age folks kill me. Just set up a lab, find some classes and learn from that, take the cert. But if you have no IT background, you better get schooled up. Just saying, at some places you might get lucky. And that's more or less what I agree. When it comes to like getting somewhere in like the tech industry, especially nowadays, where they expect you to have a degree, they expect you to have like, in the case of cybersecurity and IT, they expect you to have some certifications. They also expect you to have some type of background or experience in IT. So having all three really does pay off. If it comes to like you can only do one, I recommend experience. After experience, degree, and after degree, certification. All right, so I have Theodore Dallas. This is from a video where I gave you guys a few steps on how to become a SOC analyst. And Theodore says, the order seems off. How can I get an IT job without any skills and training? Shouldn't I get the Security Plus first and then try to get a job with that? So when it comes to getting a help desk IT job, it's not that hard. You don't need very specialized skills, especially when you're first starting. They more or less expect you not to know that much, but be willing to learn a lot. And with that being said, the main thing they would want you to have or want you to know in IT are the basics. How to install a TV, how to install a printer, how to install and uninstall programs, right? How to connect to a map drive. And then past that, it might be setting up like MFA and understanding how to reset passwords with Active Directory. You can do all of that without actually having any type of IT knowledge. You can just Google that for about a year. No, I was about to say a year, but you can just Google the stuff I just mentioned for about an hour or two, and then you have everything you need for a help desk. And then you can go ahead and start interviewing, right? So when I started in IT, I didn't have any certifications like that. I was just like my parents and my family's IT person. So I knew how to do like printer installs and things of that nature. I took that, learned Active Directory while I was studying for the Security Plus, and I was interviewing. So I was basically studying for the Security Plus, doing an Active Directory lab, and applying to jobs at the same time. So I was doing those three things at the same time, and I wasn't getting anything until I really started understanding Active Directory. And then once I got Active Directory down and explaining things to people, I was able to go and then get myself my first IT job for like $13.50 an hour. Yeah, that's how much it was. Okay, so what's next? So I have a few different comments from people like Mass Hysteria Man saying thanks, keep making content, appreciate you. Thank you for the few minutes you provided in the video, helpful video, appreciate it, and good luck for everybody, awesome. Keep up the great work, appreciate you, thank you. Christian says great tips, thank you Christian. All right, and then I have Maza, or Hamaz Ahmed, and he says, I have the Security Plus, I have the Blue Team Level 1 certification, and he is currently working on Hack the Box's CDSA, which is their like SOC Analyst type certification. And they're also doing Active Directory labs and a full-blown SOC lab, which is really awesome. So those will be really good to talk about in an interview. And he has about a year left before he's done with his master's, but he doesn't have any IT experience except for a 3-month stint as a tech support intern. And he's asking for a recommendation for practical certs. And you don't need any more certs, man. Don't do any more certs. After you're done with the Hack the Box one, focus on experience, focus on work, and then learn what you want. And then if you want to do another cert, use what you're trying to get into. Like say you were doing SOC analyst work and then you did like malware analysis. And you're just like, damn, that's kind of interesting, right? Then you would go and do like a malware related certification. But for me, don't do any more certs until you got a job, either as a desktop support or system admin, if not SOC analyst. I feel like you should shoot for a SOC analyst, but just in case that doesn't work out, you have those other 2 roles to kind of like fall back on. All right, I got something from Zadarius Damar. And he says, what's up, man? I am starting a cybersecurity and network defense course. Do you have any tips? When it comes to like courses, I'm assuming this is like a college course. I just highly recommend you ask a lot of questions, right? If you have anything, please do not go there, go to class and not ask questions, right? This is like the best time for you to be figuring out stuff. And you might have to ask the question a few different times because sometimes 1, people don't understand what you're really asking. And 2, maybe you're asking the wrong thing. I know that happened with me a few times where I would be asking one thing, but I really meant another. And I had to change the way I was wording my question. Off the top of my mind, the first thing that I would recommend for you is know the OSI model, know all the OSI layers, understand network ports and protocols. So understand like DNS, understand HTTPS, understand like LDAP, things of that nature. All right, I got another question from Marco. And Marco said, it's a statement and a question. But he says, thanks for the content, got a new sub. Appreciate you, Marco. And what do you think about the Let's Defend platform? So I didn't know too much about Let's Defend, but I did do some research for this video. I think it is a pretty interesting platform. I saw something for malware analysis, which I am really interested in getting into. So I'll be checking that out just for that. And if I really like it, then I'll put out a video for it. All right, I have another question from Ender. They are asking, which certifications do you think would help land a job as a threat hunter best? So what would be the best certs for threat hunting? I highly recommend SANS, IR, Hathaway. They have like 3 or 4 certs that are kind of guided towards incident response and threat hunting. They have like the GCFE, GCFA, and GNFA. I think those would be the best certs that you can get. It took a while to think about because I don't really look into incident response anymore as I switched to red team, but I think those would be the best ones. I know they're expensive, but when I say that they're the best certs, I don't mean that lightly. I think they were probably the best training resource that anyone can probably grab, but they are, and I mean, they are expensive. I mean like $10K a pop, which is insane. So if you're not trying to spend that much and you can't get your company to, I think the next best thing you can do is really just understand a lot of red team stuff, right? Because if you can understand red team, you can understand what it means to be a threat hunter. Because the threat hunter is supposed to be able to detect the red team. And if you are able to do red team things, then you should be able to know like where artifacts from a red team or adversary, right? You should be able to track those artifacts. And what I mean by that, just to make it a little bit more concise, is basically if I do something, if I manipulate your machine, right, you should be able to find those manipulations. They might be small, they might be very off the wall, they might be something very minuscule, but there will be something that say, hey, this has been changed. One of my favorite parts about when I was doing a malware course last year was we were able to take snapshots of a computer and then compare. And with that, we were able to see like all the different things malware does to a computer. So just being able to kind of like look through that, understand artifacts, or to be able to tell an IOC versus a regular everyday thing that Microsoft or Linux does, I think that will be really big. So I have another question from Random Videos, and they say, in order to become a good SOC analyst, must I know how to use Packet Tracer from Cisco? No, you do not. Packet Tracer, I never used. well, I can't say that. I've used it before, but I haven't used it professionally. So it's not something that a SOC analyst needs. It's like probably something cool to know, but not every company uses Cisco, so not every company will have Packet Tracer. But just understanding networking in general will be helpful. And with that being said, that is more or less all I got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, go ahead and leave a like. If I get 10 likes, I'm going to be dropping a bomb of video next week. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys then. Peace.